Okay, so there was a bit of a technical issue, and I lost Beatrice and lost the call, but we're back so she can finish off with explaining the animation. So let's transition over to viewing her screen. Okay, are you here, Beatrice? We got you back? Okay, awesome. Yeah. Um, wait. I made a mistake. I think, sorry, you need to streaming. I think our audience can only hear me right now. I just need to make a change to my output device. Uh, okay, yes. Okay, it should be good now. So yeah, welcome back. Beatrice is up, and I will be able to hear her. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so all good now?
It's working.
Perfect. Awesome. Okay, so the last thing we looked at was these lines 62, 63, 64, where we called the drop function with the color aqua and added M as a frame in our animation. So what I did in the meantime is I added these single quotes on line 65 and at the very end of the project to comment out the rest of it. And now if I preview that, we will just see that one frame that we added to the animation, which is just a drop. So to show you how quickly you can play around with things when you have functions, let's decide that instead a more accurate representation of a water is this color blue. So now if I preview that, now the drop has a different color.
Wait, so where did you change that? Was it line 63? Because then
yes,
I can try to do the same, and then I'll put it up the image term as well. But I didn't do the commenting yet, but anyway. Okay, go ahead.
Okay, so now the next step is to show the soap. So as you remember, we had a function that defined the shape of the soap, and now I will pass a color argument or a parameter to this function, and I had defined my own color variable called pink, and now I will take out these single quotes so that we can continue with the code. So actually, before calling the soap function, I have another function there called empty. Can you guess what that means?
I guess like clearing out the animation. Did you have empty, like
the animation
in between,
or
sort of like the Matrix?
So exactly, yes, because we always. So whenever we add a frame into the animation, we take the values from M, and because now I'm done with the drop, I want to get rid of all the blue pixels from the drop and actually create the soap. So for that, I first empty M,
exactly.
and or clear. Maybe clear is a better name for this function. Good point. I will.
Yay! I managed to contribute. Great.
Okay, so we empty the values in M, and then we kind of populate them with the soap, and then add that as a frame. So now if I put some single quotes here, so I comment this part of the code out, and I preview it really quickly, now we should be looping through the drop and the soap. So this was the first part of the original animation.
Awesome.
Okay. Now let's go on to the water. So this is where it becomes interesting and maybe a little bit more tricky because we're back at the function that you asked me to, that you were trying to guess how it works.
Right, exactly.
So water, you see it here in line 71. So actually you were right. What this second parameter was defining was let's see, actually I forgot now. There we go. It was the length of the water. So now I scroll back to the definition of this function, and you can see that what we're doing here is looping over a range from 0 up to this value dx,
Mm-hmm.
well, plus 1, but the range ignores the last value, so it goes from 0 to dx,
Mm-hmm.
and it puts the color C into, let's see, this one line, which is on column 3, starting from pixel 3 plus I, which I is 0 in the beginning, all the way to 3
Yeah.
plus dx. So
Mm-hmm.
if dx is 0, then we will only have one drop of water. When dx is 1, we will have 2 drops, and so on. So
Right.
it increases with the length of the water coming out of
Right.
the faucet
But then you put
increases.
some extra twist on it that it's not even a real number, it's I. So
You mean in line 71?
exactly.
Yes, so then what I'm doing is I want the water to increase. So to go from 1 drop, then 2 drops, 3
Right.
drops, 4 drops. And I do that in different, as different frames.
Mm-hmm.
So if now I just comment out from here and I run this. So you can see that first there is only one pixel for the water, then 2, 3, 4, 5. And that's achieved by having this for loop, looping over the range 0 to 5, and calling inside this for loop, calling the function with the parameter I, which takes values from 0 all the way to 4,
Right.
and then every time adding that frame or those values from m as a new frame.
Right. It's just funny because the connection, I don't know, it's so slow that actually we get like less frames. So now it looks like it goes from 1 to 3 to 5 as if you were skipping, but I get it. Your animation should be going 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Okay, so we can maybe fix that, because there is here now in this add frame function, you can see that besides m, there's also this value 100, which I didn't have before in line 64 and 67. So actually this decides the duration of the frame.
Right.
And by default, this is, I believe, 500, and I think that's
That
what
stands
we...
for milliseconds.
Yes, exactly.
Okay.
Good point. It's not 100 seconds, because then that would take much longer. But actually, if I change this 100 to, let's say, some higher, like larger
Right.
value, then you should be able to see all of it, I think.
Yeah, let's try.
Yeah, let's do maybe 300, or yeah,
Yeah,
let's try that.
let's try. Yeah, it's actually, I'm curious to see if it's gonna fix our view.
Does that work, or...
No, it's very interesting because now, no, it still goes from, no, now actually, ah, now sometimes you see 1 and then 3 and then 5, and then in the next cycle it's 2 and then down to 5.
Or...
Very
Oh, okay.
strange.
Okay, then let's put something like 1000, and then it's just going to be 1 second. So I think that will...
It's gonna be a very, very slow dripping water.
Okay, well, okay, so here's the
Mm,
thing. I
wait.
think we may have discovered that actually that functionality doesn't work
Does
in the
not
Premiere.
work. Yeah.
Okay, how about you try to do that and you show the Imagi charm, because this works in the Imagi charm.
It does?
So
Okay, that's very interesting. So I will
yeah,
change the add frame, right, from 100 to, let's say, 1000?
yeah, do 1000. I think that will be
Okay.
visually obvious enough.
Mm-hmm. Okay. But I didn't comment out the rest of the code, but still, I think this
That's
will
fine, I
be
think.
okay. So let's see. I have it. I was still uploading to the charm. Now it uploaded. Now we see the soap, water. Ooh, yeah, there we go. Very slowly dripping water. It's working.
Awesome, great.
Nice.
Okay, thank you. What would I do without you?
Well,
Uh,
what would we do without you? There would be no code to show in this live.
Okay, so let's move on and not lose our audience. Okay,
Our
so
future audience who is eagerly
our
trying to learn how to wash their hands virtually.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so then after this for loop and the dripping water, we empty M again, and
Mm-hmm.
then we move on to some new functions, which actually we didn't discuss yet. So let's go back to the definitions. And now I'm back on line 30,
Mm-hmm.
where I define a function called uphand. And this is maybe a funny name, but I was just trying to come up with like a representative and short enough name for a function. I
Okay.
wanted to create a hand, and that's kind of pointed upwards.
Mm-hmm.
So if you remember, I will just show it really quickly. So now if I put the quotes here at the, there we go. Now, if we look at the preview, there should be, after the water dripping down from the faucet, we can see two hands, the left hand and the right hand.
I only see one hand, but
Ah,
strange.
that's
Oh,
again,
same thing, same
it's
thing. Yeah, exactly. Once,
say,
so in one cycle we see the right, and in the other cycle the left one, and then yeah,
I see,
put it
but in
together.
fact they're both showing.
Fair enough.
You can again show it on the Imagi charm
Right.
to prove
To
that
prove now that it's been working.
I'm not making this up.
That's cool. Nice.
Okay, so in the definition, again, I use the same logic that I used in the previous functions, where I create these lists of x
Mm.
x for the row indices and y for the column indices, and
Okay.
then I loop over them. But the only difference here is that I have this if statement inside the for loop, which I
Mm-hmm.
use to decide whether I'm showing a right hand or a left hand. And the way I do that is, if you look at line 39, instead of setting the pixel at x of y and y of y
Oh
to
wow.
the color C.
Oof. Okay. Focus. Focus. Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Uh, okay,
No, no,
so
no.
let's maybe
I'm with you.
slow.
I'm totally with you.
Yes, okay, so how about this? You tell me what's the difference between line 37 and 39.
37 and 39. Oh wow. So maybe I should look on my phone because it's kind of hard to see on the screen. 37. So uphand for I in range length of x if r equals 1. Hmm. Jesus Christ. So wait, the x is the row. Is it the row numbers?
Yes, it's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
row
And the
numbers.
y is the column numbers. And oh, c is the color.
Yes.
Okay, yeah. So you're trying, so x of I, so you're taking the coordinates from where you defined x, but if r is 1, so what is 1? Um, oh, wait. Oh,
So,
oh,
okay, so
wait. I think wait, what? So if r equals 1, oh, so it's the right or left hand. And then, oh no?
yeah, yes.
Yeah, so you're
So,
trying to like, wait, but if r equals 1,
okay, I will just give you a tip. So,
mm,
R has, the only reason why R is there is to decide exactly between left and right. And the way I do that is I say R equals 1 means
that's
right
right, yeah.
is 1,
Mm-hmm.
so it's right. And if it's 0, then it's left.
Mm-hmm. Yes, that makes sense. And so when r is right, then they take the coordinates that are x of y and then y of y. So it just goes through the x and y list. And then if it's left hand, then the x coordinates are the same, but the y coordinates take 7 minus y of I. So essentially, just like you're just mirroring it.
Exactly. It's
Yeah,
a vertical mirror, let's
vertical.
say,
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
because I'm just changing the column in the index for
Right.
each pixel. So instead of, let's say, if y was 0 and we were all the way on the left side, then 7 minus 0 is 7, so 7 will be all the way on the right. So you can,
Right.
if you don't believe me,
No.
you can take out a piece of paper and go through the math a little bit. But yeah, essentially then what we have here is that this parameter r decides whether we have a left hand or a right hand. And now
Exactly.
if we go back to the end, we actually see that first we call this function uphand with
Mm-hmm.
yellow as the color parameter and 1 as the deciding factor between right and left. So this is the right hand. We add it to the animation, and then we add uphand with parameters y and 0. So 0 means it's a left hand.
Right. Nice.
Okay, awesome.
Wow.
Then next part is maybe the most complex part. So
Wow.
let's go back to the function that we use there. So it's called side hand, and the reason
Mm-hmm.
it's side hand is because now the hands are not facing up, but they're facing towards the side, kind of
Right.
like you would hold them when you're washing your hands
Mm-hmm.
under like the faucet.
Mm-hmm.
And here we have a few more things going on. So I do want to leave maybe part of this code
A
as a
secret?
challenge to figure
I
out.
think that's a good idea. Yeah.
So maybe we can do that with this whole part, and
Okay. So what would be
uh,
like the challenge, the call to action for whoever wants to figure it out or play around with it?
let's see. So right now, I will let me just show again the animation, the full animation. So I will just
Mm-hmm.
comment out delete these
Social media.
commenting uh, parts. Okay, so let's look again at the whole animation.
Yes.
So we went through everything up to this point where the hands are showing one by one.
Mm-hmm.
And then what is this last part? You can see that there's the faucet is there, the water is there, and then
Mm-hmm.
the hand is to the side. So
Yes.
as I said, it's using the side hand function,
Mm-hmm.
and it's moving left to right.
Right.
And then we also have some bubbles showing randomly.
This is really
So
sophisticated. Yeah.
so I think that would require maybe another episode. Maybe we can keep this part of the code for the next Meet the Creator series. But
Nice.
maybe the challenge until then will be to figure out how to make the hand move instead of left right, move up down.
Yes, that's how I wash my hands. Sorry, I was showing and you can't even see it. Anyway, good. Good challenge.
uh, So let's keep it there, and we can take in submissions for the challenge through Instagram.
Yes. Or through, yeah, exactly. Through Instagram makes most sense. We're always online. And we'll be so happy to see some submissions or questions about the code because I bet there will be questions.
Exactly, exactly. And then
Awesome.
next time, maybe we can discuss this part of the code.
Sounds good. Great. Well, thank you, Beatrice, for joining me and explaining your project. And yeah, taking my questions.
Thank you
And
for
yeah, we'll
having
be
me.
back. Awesome. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye bye. Um, and thank you for everyone who has watched. And if you have questions about the app or about the code from Beatrice or from our team in general, just reach out either on our website, imagiLabs.com, or on our Instagram, or Twitter, or Facebook. We are imagiLabs everywhere. And if you want to get the app, right now you can still get early access. You just have to go to our website and say, I want early access. And soon enough, you'll be able to download it from the app stores. Thank you and take care. And I'll be back with another episode, meeting another creator, hopefully. The technology will be with me next time as well. So, yep, thanks a lot and bye.